Alright, now we'll do some calculation based on what I don explain. But before we do some calculation, take note of this. The unit for volume is cm cube or dm cube or liter or meter cube. So anywhere you see this one, it means the unit for volume. Alright, so take note of that one. While the unit for pressure, anywhere you see pressure, the unit for pressure is either Newton per meter square or ATM, which is atmosphere, or millimeter mercury. So these are the units for what pressure. All right, so let's solve this first question. If you can attempt this question, then you are set for your JAMB, your WAEC, your IGCSE, and any other international exam you want to write. For example, the first thing you want to do when you want to solve any question, state out all the parameters. Everywhere they give you, state all of them, come out one after the other. Read the question very well. Now we'll go. It says, a given quantity of gas occupies a volume of 228 cm cube. So 228 cm cube is our first volume, the initial volume. So we say V1 is equal to 228 cm cube at a pressure of 750 millimeter mercury. Take note, mmHg is the unit for pressure, millimeter mercury. So our pressure P1 is 750 millimeter mercury. Now the question says, what will be its volume? That is the V2, the final volume, which is unknown. What will be its what volume at atmospheric pressure? Now take note of this, at atmospheric pressure. All right, the atmospheric pressure here wasn't given to you, but if you understand your kinetic theory of matter very well, under standard temperature and pressure, all right, at standard pressure, which is atmospheric pressure, the value is 760 millimeter mercury is a standard. All right, okay, if your value is not in millimeter mercury, if it is atmosphere, then the standard pressure is 1 atm, 1 atmosphere. All right, if the unit here is not in atmosphere, if it's in Newton per square meter, it becomes 1.0 times 10 raised to the power 5 Newton per square meter. All right, so these are all the value for standard pressure. All right, so P2, which was not given to us, said at atmospheric pressure, which is 760 millimeter mercury. Okay, so take note of that. So now what do we do? Now we've stated out all the parameters. Then you write your formula. P1 V1 is equal to P2 V2. Okay, so what would they look for here now? Volume would they look for here, V2, which is V2 here. So the next thing you go do now to make V2 subject of formula, meaning make V2 make a day on its own, make all these ones day one side. So how to do that? You divide both sides by the coefficient of V2. What we say coefficient of V2 means divide both sides, these two sides, when this equal to the separate by the thing when they close to V2. When they close to V2 here now P2. So divide the two sides with P2. Come here, divide here with P2. So that this P2 will cancel this P2. Only V2 will come there alone. So you can write that V2 is equal to P1 V1 over P2. All right. So once you've done this, the next thing now to substitute this value when you get here inside this formula. So if you do that, you get V2 equal to, what will be your P1 here now, 750 times, what will be your V1? Your V1 are 228 cm cube over, what will be your P2? 760 millimeter mercury. All right. So if you times 750 times 228, then divide that with 760, the answer what you go get now 225 cm cube, okay, which is the final volume. So if you go there, check your answer, you see and you see the answer now 225. B now be the answer. If you follow on like this, you don't pass your JAMB, you don't pass your WAEC, you don't even pass your international exams. Very simple. We'll go over to the next one. All right, if you are given something like this, according to my previous video, the first thing wey you go do, first write out all the parameters. I first tell you say volume. Whenever you see volume, the unit for volume na either cm cube or liter or dm cube or meter cube or mil. All right, these are all units for what? Volume. You can see in calculation like this. Why pressure? Unit for pressure is millimeter mercury. All right, or Newton per square meter, or atmosphere, in abbreviation ATM. All right, so now let's go to our question. Let's start first by stating all the parameters. Let's go first. Now, it says 300 cm cube of a gas. This is the initial volume. So come here, come write V1 is equals to 300 cm cube. Okay, of a gas has a pressure of 800 millimeter mercury. Take note, millimeter mercury now be pressure. All right, and a P1, which is the starting pressure. You come here, right? P1 equal to 800 millimeter mercury. It says if the pressure is reduced to 650 millimeter mercury, if we reduce this pressure to 650, which becomes our final pressure, right? P2 is equal to 650 millimeter mercury. It says find its volume. Take note, we don't first get the first volume. Now the second volume we won't find, which is V2. All right, always start out like this. When you don't state out all your parameters, we know say now V2 they look for. The next way you go to write your formula, which is P1 V1 is equal to what? P2 V2. Then the next now V2 they look for. So how do you get V2? Now first, you go make V2 subject of formula. Make only V2 day your own. All right, comot this P2 when they close to them. How you go to do one? Divide both sides by weighting they close to V2, and which is what? P2. So if we divide both sides by P2, P2 will come cancel P2. So V2 becomes P1 V1 over P2. All right. So when you've done this, the next is to substitute the value into it. So say V2 equal to what will be P1. P1 na 800 millimeter mercury times V1. What will be V1? 300 cm cube over P2. What will be P2? Yes, 650 millimeter mercury. So when you divide everything together, the answer you have is 369 cm cube. That is if you abbreviate. So let's check if we have the answer, which is this one, 369.23. I approximated to 3 significant figure. So this one becomes the answer. Simple as ABCD. Let's go over to the next question.